Hello everyone, my name is Radhika. Welcome to another episode of Teal Bites. Today we have with us Mr. Prince Joseph, CIO at SFO Technologies. Prince is an award-winning business technology leader renowned for his expertise in driving digital transformation within enterprises. Very warm welcome, Prince.
Thank you, Radhika.
Great. So, Prince, today we'd like to know from you the design and prototyping phase is critical in ODM for creating innovative products. This is probably an area where GenAI can be of great use. Have you identified key use cases where GenAI-led innovation can be useful in the ODM space? Your views, please, Prince.
So that's a great question. And as the GenAI adoption is slowly picking up in the industry, there are many areas where we see there is potential for this to directly impact. In the ODM space, this is a unique one where each case that you deal with is going to be different. They will have very specific parameters to work towards, and you're trying to create an original design, as the name itself indicates. So what makes us different, or what would differentiate your offering from another ODM player, or what would really satisfy the customer or the contract that is coming your way, is how quickly you can turn this around. So the turnaround time is one which is a factor. Second one is the quality of the output that we give. And the third one is the other parameters around the product life cycle, how it impacts areas like sustainability, testing, manufacturability, all of that. So at the moment, when you look at the process that we follow, there's a lot of tools that is in this space. There are different tools for design, there are different tools for modeling, there are different tools for simulation, different set of tools for prototyping. Then all of this needs to be integrated with the actual production run where you're doing a prototype, where you're doing a new product sort of a work. There's hardware to be thought of, there is production line to be thought of. So when you look at the whole life cycle, you got the product life cycle part to be thought of, and you got the product development part to be thought of as well. So you're working with an engineering team that has got to deal with tens of tools, complex tools that needs to come together to make this concept work. So the first one is, do we have a workable concept itself? How do we get to that phase? At the moment, when you look at the kind of turnaround that we have, it's not happening in hours. It's not happening in days even. It is taking weeks for us to even create the first concept. So how can we do that? Because this right now, the iteration is happening with human knowledge and your application of your experience. Typically, when you go to tools, you're able to reuse a lot of things. But the reusability, when it comes to some of these tools, because the data is also sitting in different silos, the reusability factor, which is affecting the turnaround time, is not really good. It needs to be better. So this is an area where GenAI can come in, and it will be able to run through these scenarios faster. So one of the things that we are looking at is, how is it possible for us to create or come to the concept stage much more sooner? So this will help us to go to the prototyping stage faster. This will help us with many more things. When you're coming up with a design, there's two things that we want to try and impact. One is the actual concept itself, and then the second part is the material that's going to be going in, and the third one is the process that's going to be going in. So we want to know how GenAI, and it's very easy to see that all of these areas needs optimization to get us to the best product that is possible for the scenario. So material-wise itself, there are so many components that we can buy. There are some components that we can manufacture. Now, how do we make a decision on that? For that also, right now it's going through expert thinking. It's experts making up their decisions on iterations, and you may not get it even right. So I'm also coming from the back of one ODM ask that we had, and they wanted us to give a concept and a pricing for that. And that's incredibly difficult to do, because you will never get it right, and you will always play it safe. Right. And when you play it so safe, the pricing will never come out to be something which is within their budget. So I'm seeing the second iteration on that, and the project still looks high. But when I look internally, I see that you have to play it safe, because you don't know many of these parts in the design. If you try to assume too much, you're going to put yourself in trouble because you won't get the margins that you need, and you may run into a loss. So this is one of those places where if we can cut this chase a little shorter, and if we can make this to be faster, if you're able to give them a product proposal which seems to be within the budget, meeting the parameters and specs, and with a margin for improvement, which we are now very clear, this is areas where we can impact. And this is also areas where you're also able to tell them, you can make decisions on what you want to change in terms of specs there.
Right.
And then the iterations become even faster.
Correct.
So to get that to be moving and to come to a point where saying, okay, let's go and build this. That is an area where I think GenAI can help, because it's all a play on data from multiple sources. It's also a quick analysis and turnaround on and giving us an output in terms of the modeling. And there are many other cases when it comes to testing. There's even more interesting things we can do, because when you're doing an original design, testing cases and test scenarios have to be built from scratch. You might even need to build custom testing. And how do you do that? So at the moment, that is also an area which does take time. It is done a bit manually. Sometimes we build our own hardware to be test kits. We build our own software to work with that. And as you're doing the concept part, you're also able to do this. As in when you look at this software concept, the V model, the same thing can be applied here. But because it's done by different teams, it's done in different stages, you find that the lapse time is actually longer. So for us, can we get a product to be conceived faster, prototyped faster, or prototype ready faster, and then give the assurance that this is the test scenarios that can be given back to the customer? Those are all helpful things. These are all areas where GenAI can help. There's a lot more. I mean, the sustainability part is also quite interesting, because we can factor this in by saying, consider these elements also in the design.
Okay.
So you're taking the right sort of material, you're taking it in the right sizes, you're reducing the wastage on that, reusability, the lifetime, all of those can be factored in. So you're doing that from the early stages itself, which means that you're trying to build for a good, sustainable, long-term product.
Right. Great. So I think these were like great insights we have from you, Prince. And I'm sure our audience are going to really benefit out of this. And thank you so much, Prince, for your input today.
No, my pleasure. I think this was a very quick ask, and these are some thoughts. And the more you dwell on it, you will find out that there's more you can probably come up with. But these are areas that we are working on. And the other part, just to add before I close off, is on the variability and the customization possibilities. Because now with this, I think as you have faster iterations, you're also able to give product variations. So that's also quite a possibility that we can see with application of the right way of GenAI modeling.
Right. So the customers also benefit, and everyone benefits out of it.
Absolutely.
Great, Prince. Thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing many more insights from you. And I will connect. I look forward to connecting with you again.
My pleasure, Radhika. Thank you for having me. And thank you for giving me a chance to think again and rethink what we are doing. So this is what really is a benefit for me from all these interactions. Thank you. You have a good day. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you, Prince.